Bartees Strange was on a recent edition of NPR's Tiny Desk Concert, and I'm going to tell you what I think about it right now. Hey everybody, Chris King here with Love Live Music. Are you watching these NPR Tiny Desk Concerts? Because in a time of no big concerts, they're really, really good and really satisfying and really a great way to discover some new favorite artists. It's kind of like going to a show and not knowing necessarily who the opening band is, but you show up early enough and then next thing you know, you're blown away. And you might feel that way if you watch Bartees Strange perform on NPR. Now, Bartees Strange is a name that I've never said before until a couple of months ago because he started popping up on a lot of end-of-year best album lists. And I noticed that the artist was originally from Oklahoma and had moved to Washington, D.C. So I was interested. And I went and I listened to the record a few times there in December and January. And so getting a chance to see this artist perform live on NPR Tiny Desk is really a great opportunity for me to see these songs come to life. And boy, does he bring them to life. This is really something that needs to be on your radar because Bartees Strange is a special good talent. He does 4 songs on this Tiny Desk Concert, crammed into an area with his band. You got Bartees, he's playing a good-looking Gibson guitar. He's got keys, he's got another guitar, he's got a bass player, and he's got a drummer, all crammed into this area. Also, several houseplants surround them to kind of break up because they're at levels as they're real tight together. Some are standing, some are leaning, some are sitting. The plants are all just being like plants. Bartees Strange kicks it off with the song Boomer, which might be, if you're familiar with the artist, the song that you come back to. It's kind of the quote-unquote hit of the Bartees Strange album. Great lyrics, great story. Seems like it's coming from a place that is personal. It's a personal connection to him, which that's how so many great songs come across. One thing about the music of Bartees Strange, it's, the song Boomer takes maybe 3 different turns. There is a spoken word that doesn't sound unlike something the Hold Steady would do. And then it goes into some very soulful singing. There's an underlying funk to the music on all 4 songs. There's a funkiness. You'll catch it at different parts where you go, oh yeah, that's a groove that they've got, that they've laid this kind of indie rock-esque song on top of this funky groove, and it really translates well, and it's got a very original sound. Not a lot of people are making music that sound like this, and the song Boomer, again, you need to circle back and listen to that song if you haven't. He really hits some good vocal notes, and it's a real good song. He leaves that song and takes just like a 30-second break. Maybe he's switching guitars, or maybe he's, just introducing himself or whatever. But he says something that really struck me. He said, hey, during this whole time, the transition and all that, I haven't really been paying attention to the news. I like music and I like to play music, so I've been doing music. And I thought, wow, maybe we would be a better society if people turned off the talking heads and worked on their art. That's the world I'd like to live in. Also, he gives a shout out to Yves Tumor, who, in my opinion, was one of the more exciting new artists to come out of the last year-ish. Someone that really reminds me of Prince. And I love some Prince. So to hear Bartees, 1, say he's not paying much attention to what's going on, he's working on his art. And 2, shout out one of my favorite artists, really connects me to Bartees Strange. He also shouts out Aaron Dresner, The National. He goes into the second number, Mustang, which is a reference to Mustang, Oklahoma, the town that he grew up in Oklahoma before he moved to Washington, D.C. I've never been to Mustang, Oklahoma. I'm guessing it's a very small place. If you're from Mustang, Oklahoma, and it's a thriving metropolis, and I'm totally wrong, you can leave me a comment down below. But this song Mustang is another, it sounds like it's really coming from Bartees' personal experience of growing up and having feelings in this area and, seeing a lot of death and frustration around him. But he sings it in such a way that it's got this soulful groove that's, it's really interesting. I enjoyed the whole performance here. Then he wraps it up with two other songs from his album, In a Cab and Flaggy God. I'm not exactly sure of the pronunciation. Even hearing him sing it, I was like, I'm not sure if that's a hard G or a J sound. Both of these songs on the album are a lot louder and more raucous than what he's doing here on NPR. It's certainly, I don't know, this group that he's got together, it's got some jazz. It's got, like jazzy funk, I guess, is what we're talking about. That's what did Guru call it when he had the jazzmatazz? I don't know. I'm sure he had a name for it, but it's not unlike something that Guru's jazzmatazz sounded like. Less rapping on the vocals, but certainly a storytelling staccato rhyme scheme. Go watch it and you'll know what I'm talking about. And when you watch it and you like it too, maybe come back and give my video a like. Go listen to Bartees' album and subscribe to my videos, because I love live music. And if you love Bartees Strange performing NPR's Tiny Desk, and there's a link down in my description, then come back and tell me that you loved it. My name's Chris King, and you know what I love? Live music.